Beneath the cold earth, in the stifling darkness of an underground chamber, a small bronze bell rings steadily. A fragile sound, like the last breath of a man who has forsaken all worldly desires to reach eternity. Then one day, the bell falls silent. Stillness engulfs everything, as if declaring that the monk's journey of living to die has reached its end, leaving a mystery buried deep beneath the soil for 1,000 years. Over a millennium later, in 2014, a beam of light from a cutting-edge CT scanner pierces the golden sheen of a Buddha statue, unveiling something unimaginable. The remains of a monk, perfectly preserved since the 11th century, still seated in lotus meditation. This isn't a fairy tale or fabricated legend. This is the true story of Zen Master Liuquan, a flesh and blood human who transformed himself into an immortal symbol, a living Buddha defying time itself. In the 11th century, during the flourishing Song dynasty of ancient China, Zen Master Liuquan lived a simple life in a small temple tucked away in the misty mountains of Fujian. He wasn't just seeking enlightenment through meditation. He yearned to transcend the very limits of his physical body. Liuquan was a master of the Chinese Zen school, but what set him apart was his choice to undertake self-mummification, a rare practice in East Asian Buddhism, where monks turn themselves into living Buddhas, preserving their bodies to inspire generations to come. To achieve this, he abandoned fragrant white rice and rich soybeans, staples that sustain ordinary lives. Instead, he gathered berries, gnawed on dry bark, and drank urushi lacquer sap, a toxic substance that dehydrated his body and warded off bacteria from within. Through years of asceticism, Liuquan's body withered like a shadow, fat and moisture stripped away, preparing him for the final step. His eyes closed in meditation, but his mind burned with the resolve to reach Buddhism's highest realm. His disciples recount that he endured decades of this, sipping tea laced with toxins that induced vomiting to purge his body, all while incense smoke swirled around him. This was a path no one dared imagine, a sacrifice only those who believed in immortality could embrace. When his body had shriveled like a winter branch, Liuquan entered the final phase, entombed alive in a cramped underground chamber. He sat in lotus position, breathing through a bamboo tube, ringing a bell each day, a faint sound signaling his struggle against death in utter darkness. One day, the bell went silent. His disciples waited 1,000 days, hearts filled with reverence and dread. As they broke open the stone door, torchlight flickered, revealing a moment of destiny. Would it be failure or a miracle of faith? A miracle emerged. Liuquan's body remained incorrupt, still meditating as it had on his final day. His disciples knelt in awe, beginning to layer clay and gold paint around him, transforming their master into a Buddha statue, a living Buddha, for posterity to revere. But strangest of all, his organs were gone, replaced by scraps of ancient Chinese paper bearing faded script. Who placed them there? Did his organs waste away through asceticism, or was a secret ritual performed? This question still hangs in the air. The statue was finished, its golden surface reflecting Liuquan's tranquil smile. Placed in an ancient temple shrine, it became a sacred symbol, not just housing his remains, but his very soul, safeguarding villagers across centuries. Time marched on to the 20th century, and the statue drifted to a bustling antiques market in Hong Kong. In 1996, Oscar van Overeem, a Dutch collector, spotted it amid the crowd, seeing only an art piece, unaware it held the remains of a monk from 1,000 years ago. He brought it to Europe, placing it in a lavish living room. Beneath the chandelier's glow, the statue stood silently, concealing a secret far beyond the artistic value he imagined. In 2014, at the Drents Museum in the Netherlands, researchers decided to run a CT scan. As the image emerged, a skeleton in lotus position, the lab fell silent in disbelief. This wasn't an empty statue, but a living relic from the 11th century. The scan revealed more, his organs replaced by ancient Chinese paper, possibly scriptures or prayers. News spread worldwide, turning Liuquan into a phenomenon bridging science and spirituality. Villagers in Yangchun, Fujian, recognized it as Jianggong Zushi, their sacred statue, stolen from their temple in 1995. They knelt before an empty altar, pleading with the Netherlands to return the icon that had protected them for centuries. Oscar van Overeem insisted he bought it legally. A fierce legal battle erupted, spanning years between the villagers and the collector. To this day, The statue's fate remains unresolved, caught between law and faith. Whether it stays in the Netherlands or returns to Fujian, Liuquan continues to tell a story of unwavering faith and unimaginable sacrifice. He transcended death to live forever, proof that human will can touch the eternal. When you stand before this statue, you don't just see an artifact. You witness Liuquan's journey. A man who gave up food, breath, and life itself to attain immortality, linking past and present in a single breath. His bell fell silent 1,000 years ago, but its echo lingers. Through the mottled gold, the ancient paper in his chest, and the awestruck gazes of us today.